The Bermuda Triangle, which spans from Bermuda to Puerto Rico and over to the Miami-Fort Lauderdale coast, comprises 500,000 square miles of infamous seas. It's one of the world's most enduring mysteries that has lasted for the last 3 centuries and has been charged with the disappearance of more than 2,000 sea vessels and 200 aeroplanes. Inquisitive minds have always questioned whether the supernatural or actual science is to blame for all the area's mysteries, and its infamousness has sparked countless books, articles, and websites. As per legends, Christopher Columbus was the first one to witness the horror of this region in 1492, and since then, thousands of stories have come out about this place. The one which we are going to tell you today is about a survivor who witnessed one of the most unusual incidents inside the Triangle of Death. So without wasting any time, let's get started. This story is about a pilot named Bruce Gernon, who with his business partner and his father on board took off on a single-engine aircraft known as a Beechcraft Bonanza. The flight was scheduled to fly from the Bahamas to the Florida coast on December 4, 1970. Bruce Gernon had made a number of journeys from the Bahamas to Florida and vice versa. Never did he encounter any problem. But December 4 was noteworthy, which was going to change his life. After a few minutes of getting into the plane, the flight took off and was gaining altitude with Bruce as the pilot of the plane. As soon as the plane reached an altitude of 10,000 feet, Bruce saw a dark cloud ahead. As the plane was approaching the cloud was getting gigantic every minute. Bruce managed to cut it through and come out of it as if he was an experienced pilot. But unfortunately, this was not the end. As the aircraft reached 11,000 feet, Bruce saw another massive dark cloud. The captain had no choice but to move through the cloud again. When Bruce entered inside the second cloud, the surrounding was pitch black. No single ray of sun was passing through the cloud. The weather was pretty normal that day, and there was no rain or thunderstorm, so Bruce was confused about why he was witnessing black clouds one after the other. As Bruce was keeping composure and moving through the cloud very carefully, suddenly he witnessed a blaze of light. Bruce straightaway knew that these were no lightning, as these lights lit up the whole space. Bruce kept on flying and flying, but the cloud never seems to end. The pilot thought that this is the time when he dies. When he almost believed that his life's gonna end, to his surprise, he saw a small light which marked the exit of the cloud. He kept the flight straight and started moving fast towards the end. All of a sudden, he witnessed sinister activities taking place around him. The exit hole was getting shorter, and the entire electronic instrument inside the aircraft was unworkable. According to Bruce himself, he no longer had control of the aircraft at that moment, which indirectly means that the aircraft was moving with the help of an unnatural force. At that very moment, he was totally frightened and clueless at the same time, as he was unable to understand what actually was happening to his aircraft. After a few fearful seconds, Bruce collected himself and did not lose hope, and was determined to get out of the cloud tunnel. The last 20 seconds of his life were memorable, as Bruce managed to get out of the dark cloud eventually. As he came out of the tunnel, the flight felt completely weightless for 5 seconds. As soon as the flight reached its normal state and Bruce regained conscious, he immediately contacted the ground controls. Bruce wanted to know his location. The ground team was shocked when they listened to Bruce's voice as they were listening to him, which meant the flight was in their network. But still, the flight was not showing on the radar, making them unable to fetch his location. Bruce realized that he had already reached Miami, Florida, but how is this possible? The journey from the Bahamas to Florida usually took 1.5 hours, but this journey was made in only 45 minutes. The flight had a speed of 180 kilometers per hour, and there is no explanation on how this aircraft made such a trip in just 45 minutes. The plane had a clean landing in Miami, but the mind of Bruce was filled with countless questions. Bruce was a very knowledgeable pilot, so things happening magically without any scientific explanation gave him sleepless nights. Moreover, he was very familiar with the airspace as he flew a lot from the same airspace where this unspeakable activity took place. In spite of being a young guy, Bruce had an experience of about 600 flight hours on the same track, which made him so confident that the phenomenon that occurred to him was something supernatural. Bruce, along with his association, started researching the issue for an answer. He even consulted the aeronautical engineers and professors for this, but nobody can provide a solution to this problem. When Bruce finally believed that no one's gonna help him unveil the mystery, then he decided to execute it on his own. As a result, Bruce decided to document this story on his own and came up with a book known as Beyond the Bermuda Triangle. If you are also interested in the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, then do check out this book once. By the way, what do you think was actually responsible for these unexplained chain of incidents? Let me know in the comments down below.